All right, guys. Well, welcome. Let me make sure I got this set up. Welcome. My name is Mike, and today we're going over how to identify your niche market or niche, however you want to pronounce it. How to identify your niche market. Now, for many of us who are entrepreneurs, speakers, coaches, course creators, consultants, we are trying to, while we're on the internet, we're trying to connect with people all across the globe, right? But you can't connect with everybody. So how do you find the right channel to actually make a good connection? So today, if you're looking to build your community, if you're looking to attract your ideal students, if you're trying to get your message out there, and if you're trying to grow your email list organically, then this topic is going to be right up your alley. So pay attention. We're going over a couple things. I've got a couple stories for you. And if you have any questions at the end, feel free to reach out and I will try to answer them the best to my ability. So let's dive in. So when we're trying to find out who our niche customer is, if we're trying to identify where the niche market is, the first thing that we need to know is who is our dream customer. So when I first started out doing public speaking, right, I joined the John Maxwell team. I learned from great leadership on exactly where to start. So for me, I started with a book and I started going to friends and family, right? And I would invite them to these groups. We'd have these group meetings and start discussing these practices and principles on the 15 invaluable laws of growth. That was my beginning. But I soon found out that it was very difficult to essentially motivate and get people to show up to a course. So I decided that online was going to be a more effective route, because instead of trying to do like I was doing 15 calls in a day and do this on my, I got two breaks during the day, a 10-minute break here and a 10-minute break there. So 20 minutes total during the day. I mean, it was like, how am I going to reach more people and make more effective use of my time? So instead of making all the calls and just trying to essentially drag people over the line and, friends and family that did not really care or really want to do a 15 invaluable laws of growth mastermind, I decided on a different route. I was going to attract them, the people who actually wanted to show up in the group and meet and discuss the practices and principles. So where do you begin? So knowing who it is that you ideally want to work with is really essential, because when you know who it is that you really would like to work with, originally I thought it was going to be tech entrepreneurs and people in the tech industry, and I soon found out that a lot of the people that are in tech are very specialized, knowledge focused, and they've got kind of a regimented routine of the way that they work, and that I really love. Although I love the creativity that a lot of them have, I really like entrepreneurs and entrepreneurship and the creativity that goes in with them. So there's I think there's a certain level during with tech, with people in tech, that they get to use that creativity. But I soon ran into the effect of not as many people were jumping on these calls and mastermind groups that I had hoped for. So I needed to change really where my dream customer was and who they are. So the biggest thing that I had to look at was what was within myself. Who am I, and who do I want to lead? So once I get more of a better understanding of my strengths, my my expertise, my experiences, my passion, then I can more effectively connect with people and lead them to the destination that they are looking to go to also. So the number one question is, who are your dream customers or clients? The second question is, where can you find them? So for me, again, I started out doing phone calls. There were certain destinations, meetings that I could attend. I would collect people's cards and get their phone numbers and emails and start messaging and calling and emailing them. And I tried to do it, where I put in the email and message it out to 500 people or 300 people, and I would get maybe two to it was about a 2% response rate. So I get about maybe 5 people would respond or just open it and nobody would respond. But so where's your time going to be best invested? So that was the second problem that I ran into. Is I felt like even though I was collecting these emails, people just weren't that interested in it. They had their own businesses already. They were focused on doing different tasks that maybe I didn't have the expertise at the time to help them with. And so where can you find them? Well, for me, what I've been learning is that going online is a great way to find people like that I was after, right? The clients, the relationships I'm trying to build. But where are they congregating? Where are they meeting? And so if you look at a lot of these Facebook groups, you can search any Facebook group and something's going to pop up. So, if I'm a speaker, I'm going to look for, a public speaking Facebook group. And so that's just what I did. I looked for speakers that were looking to launch their speaking career and more of that entrepreneurial type mindset. So I also went with the Millionaire Mindset Entrepreneurship Club. There's a bunch of different groups out there, and I was looking for the groups with the most people. That way, my fishing experience, my essentially, I'm finding where these pools of people are, and then it's like, okay, I found where they're at, and now I need a way to attract them. So it's almost like fishing. Like so we've gone over who are your dream clients or customers, where can you find them, and then what bait will you use to attract them. So if you imagine like a big ocean and it's a market that it's very popular, right? Like let's say wealth, right? That's a very big, broad market, and that's a market that I really am passionate on helping people build wealth. I want to help people. Essentially, I want to help them go from, it could even be a minimum wage job to using their hours and time wisely, investing in building their own business. And so because I've experienced that, I've experienced the labors of graduating from college and then not having a job right away, and actually feeling pretty bad that I wasn't able to get that nice high paying job right out of college. And I tried starting a business, but it ended up failing. And I was doing concrete cutting, Christmas tree hauling. I did a lot of manual labor type stuff, and it was all to really channel my time into what I'm passionate and what I dreamed about becoming, which was an entrepreneur. And so channeling all that time and energy, I mean, it took me 10 years to get to where I am right now. So I've gone through a lot of junk to get to where I am to be able to invest back into you guys. So you guys are, my guess is that you guys are entrepreneurs or speakers, course creators, consultants. That's my target market. That's my niche. That's how I can best benefit our group. So anyway, that's my group. So you need to identify what bait you will use to attract your ideal client. So let's say it's a it's a brand new huge ocean. There's a strategy called the blue ocean versus red ocean strategy, and if you think about it, in a red ocean, how can it be red, right? Typically, there's like blood in the water, right? There's a lot of people fishing in that congregation of people, and so if there's a lot of people throwing out their hooks, their the bait, so to speak, there's a lot of people that are already trying to attract those customers. So if you drill down to a smaller niche, like for in wealth building would be like how to become a paid public speaker, or how to start up an online business and market it, and market it online or something like that. So it's drilling down to a smaller niche. It could even be in sales and persuasion. There's different little areas that help you build wealth, but it's a smaller niche that you can become more of a detailed expert. It makes it more exclusive, right? So it's your expertise, your passion, your experience is more helpful in this one specific area that most other people are not even focused on. So it's essentially, it's like your own blue ocean. There's not very many people with bait in that area. There's not blood in the water. There's not all these other big sharks are swimming in this big red ocean that's oversaturated. There's too many people fishing and doing all that. So when you drill down to a smaller area, you're able to attract with your expertise and show that you are different. So that's the strategy of blue ocean versus red ocean. And the fourth thing that you need to identify your market is what results do you want to give people. So if you got out a piece of paper and you drew a line down the middle, and on one side you wrote what your personal qualities are, your ideals, your traits that are your exactly what your strong suit, your strengths, and what you want to focus on, what you want to coach, train, teach people with. And then on the other side are the problems that other people face. So sometimes it might be difficult. That you might think that these difficulties, these challenges that the people face are, it's your perception of what they face. But in reality, sometimes what you need to do is go to your blue ocean and ask the people. So that would be like going to a Facebook group and asking them, hey, what's your biggest challenge? What's your biggest problem with X, Y, or Z? And shut up and listen. It's just you ask for maybe 3 or 5. What are the 5 biggest challenges, 3 biggest challenges that you have in entrepreneurship, in course creation, in consulting? And I did that, right? I did that, and here's what I found. One lady responded with me that it's different. It's different because in one area, $0 to $500,000, people have a range of challenges. That would be like, let's see, what do I have? That would be like going after every shiny object, going after productivity, not making enough money. Those are big problems for people starting out. But when people have already built their business to 500,000 to 7 figures, then they have a different range of challenges. They already have all the basics down, but now they have a different level of challenges, which would be more like leadership and communication and different areas. But they need help in a different on a different level. And so people with, let's see, it was 7 figures plus, they were more looking at the challenges of, hey, I've already done the work, I've gotten the people in the right places to pull all the levers to get the business going. Now I want to leave the business. Now I want to consider legacy. I want to consider donating time and money to certain charities or something like that. So I did not realize that until I asked that question. And so if you are looking to build a new business, if you're looking to build or get started online, then you need to start asking the right questions to the right target market so you can identify what it is and which way that you are going to serve. So those four questions: who are your dream customers or clients? Where can you find them? What bait will you use to attract them? And what results do you want to give them? Again, when you draw that line down the piece of paper and you've got your inner qualities, your primary focus, the strong suits, your experience, your passions, your motivation, and then you take the biggest problems that other people have, the shiny objects, the productivity, the not making enough money on that level. That's where you start to draw connections and where you can help them out. So those are what I'm using. Now you have to use your own experiences. So maybe you're looking at it in a different way. That's good because we're all different. We have different experiences. We have different backgrounds. But it's going to be how you can use your own stories to help alleviate their problems. So that is the primary goal. And so that leaves us, what are some of the three primary markets? What are some of the major markets? And if you think of, actually, there's a book called Expert Secrets by Russell Brunson. If you take a look in his book, Russell goes into, there's three core markets. And these core markets are wealth, health, and relationships. And I highly recommend going through the steps. I've got a link in a free PDF that I'll send to you guys. But just picking one market and focusing on how you are going to fulfill those deep-rooted, deep-seated desires in those people. So for me, I want to focus on wealth. I want to help people build generational wealth. And my way of doing it, the opportunity, public speaking is a huge, 99% of people are afraid of public speaking, right? If that's the case, then there is a huge opportunity to get people over their fear so they can multiply and add value to themselves and multiply value to other people using platforms like Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and essentially creating their own channel. And so at Radioactive Leaders, we are multiplying our value to others. And so I want you to join my group. Be sure to check it out. There's going to be more in the group posted on there, and there's going to be more detail on some of the questions that you should be asking yourself. So I'll post that in a PDF for you guys to use. And then some of the insights that I've gathered along the way, as well as Russell Brunson's book on Expert Secrets. I'll put a link in there for you too, so you can download that for free and or get a free copy of his book. But I want to thank you for joining me. There was one question that Richard Morin asked, and that was, how do you know it's the right market even though it is successful? So I think what he's asking is, how do you know it's the right market? And so honestly, it's kind of an interesting question, because I think I already answered it. So how do you know it's the right market? I think you have to look inside yourself first. I think you have to look inside. What experiences do you have? What are your passions? And maybe a couple others would be, what are your passions? What are you good at? What do you want to do? What do you like doing? Because it's gonna rub off on people if you don't really enjoy what you do. If you don't really like helping people, people aren't gonna really want to come back, right? So anyway, so how do you know it's the right market? Well, I think that there's a fit to the market. So I think you have to have some sort of passion, experience, expertise. Maybe it was an old job that you had that you really loved. Hopefully it wasn't one that you hated. I mean, hopefully it's a good fit. You've got that knowledge, experience, expertise, and you can really add value. The key is to add value, and add value. And that way, when it's online, it multiplies. So I hope that answers your question. And again, once you look at yourself and you identify the problems other people are having, you're able to reach out, essentially take them by the hand and lead them with the how-to steps all the way through to get to where you are. And that is discipline. That takes one step after the other. It's not skipping a step. It's not jumping all the way across the divide. It's taking them one step at a time to get to where you are. And if you've been pursuing after those qualities, that insight, that trying to get that understanding, then you've already fought that battle and you can help them through the unknown. So anyway, thank you for joining me. Check out the Facebook group, Radioactive Leaders Multiply Value. And I want to thank you for being here. And I hope you enjoy this section on how to identify your niche market. So thank you. And I will be posting that PDF for you shortly. And keep an eye out for it. And I will see you tomorrow.